Okay, so I'm here to explain what happens when Saturn goes into the fourth house, and I'm start by explaining what is the fourth house. The fourth house is a house that represents our mother. It represents also like the household that we came from. Second house is the family. Fourth house is the household. It represents how you might be in your own household one day, but it represents the relationship with the mother. It represents some, indoor dwellings. Is the fourth house represents luxury items, things that bring us comfort, like cars. It represents vehicles and little transportations, a bike or whatever. That's the fourth house. The things that we store that gives us security and comfort. That is the fourth house. Um, Short and simple. So moving on to Saturn. Saturn's one of the two planets that represent the relationship with your father or father-like figure. So the Saturn and Sun are the two that can represent that. Saturn is a significator of debt. So, Saturn can make us pay debt, karmic debt, based upon our actions. Saturn likes to put order and structure to whatever sign and house that it goes into. And this is an interesting, usually a lot of misconceptions, usually sometimes with Saturn in the fourth house. And I sort of know this placement like the back of my hand because it's a pretty good placement. Well, it's not a pretty good placement. It's just an interesting placement. But even about to start explaining. So, one thing that we can see when someone has their Saturn in the fourth house is that they potentially, their relationship with the mother can possibly, or the mom-like figure, could be very cold and or distant, because Saturn is this masculine, authoritative, orderly, structured planet. It originally rules the 10th. So it has this masculine energy and militant structure type energy to it. So, the household that you came from could have been very militant, orderly, and structured, and probably wasn't really too much, maybe emotional nurturance from the mother. Of course, we have to see a whole lot of other things in your birth chart to confirm that, but this is just me being broad. So, Saturn here in the fourth house, an individual can potentially just come from a household like that, where the mom probably worked just two jobs and she just cooked, put clothes and food on your back, but there really wasn't no love. Maybe the way that she loved you and nurtured you was more so like a job, and it wasn't really like some, oh, I really love you. It's more so, all right, go to bed, get up for school. It wasn't like some, hey, how was your day? It was just more so very strict and orderly and uptight, and that's basically sort of like how the relationship with the mother is, or mother-like figure, or just in the household in general, you know. So these people could tend to just feel deprived of love and nurturance, possibly at a very young age, and this can manifest into their relationships. They could feel as though since they had a cold and distant relationship with their mother or mother-like figure within the household, that they could feel as though they are not worthy of love. They are not worthy of, being loved by someone. So when they do meet someone who loves them, who likes them, and shows them affection, these people can just be uncomfortable with that. They can turn away from that. They can put up boundaries and gates and walls around them. Because you see, the fourth house is originally ruled by the moon in Cancer. The moon is our emotions. The moon is also sort of like our mind. Mercury is more so our intellect, how we solve problems and communicate. But the moon is more so of our mind. And the moon is really rules and associated with the fourth house. And Saturn, it puts like walls and boundaries and structures around houses and signs in a sense, psychologically. So these people can be emotionally and like mentally, psychologically guarded. They don't really want to let no one into their comfort zone, their space of peace and protection and solitude, either literally or mentally. So like I said, these people can just have walls and boundaries around themselves and make it hard for someone to get in and love them and nurture them because they just feel traumatized and potentially guarded by how like their household was. And another reason why you see the way that their household, you can see the way that they was raised in their house affects their relationships because The higher self of the fourth house is the seventh house. 4 places from the fourth house is the seventh house. You know, this concept is mainly seen in Vedic sidereal astrology. I'm probably already mess up this term, but it's known as like Bhavam Bhavam. And that is like either like Sanskrit or Hindu for house to house. And yeah, basically, like I said, fourth from the fourth is the seventh. So the fourth house is cars, motorcycles, and bikes. And the seventh house can represent airplanes and boats and stuff, you know? But that's gonna be for a whole nother like video series. But so the fourth house in relationships, intimate one-on-one relationships, they're intertwined, they're connected and stuff. But that's basically sort of it. These people just have a cold and distant relationship with the mother, or they had a very strict upbringing, and these people just feel very emotionally guarded because they could have felt just deprived, the emotion. They could be afraid to show their emotions, afraid to show their drop their guard. These people, when they have their own place, their own household, it probably would be very orderly and structured. And that can manifest in many ways. It might just be very OCD. Everything probably be very orderly, very clean or whatnot. Someone with Saturn in the fourth house, their mom or mother-like figure could have played like the masculine, authoritative role in their life. If their dad was there, maybe the mom was more assertive than the dad, or the dad wasn't there. But those are the type of things that someone can experience with Saturn in the fourth house. These people can have good relationships with their mom with Saturn in the fourth house. Now, this placement doesn't apply to everybody, because this person, they could have the moon in the fourth house, or Venus in the fourth house, or moon or Venus looking and aspecting the fourth house, and that could change things. Or Saturn could be in a benefic sign, a positive sign that's ruled by a benefic planet. That could change things up a bit. But other than that, those are the things that you can encounter if you have Saturn in the fourth house, or know someone who has Saturn in the fourth house. And thanks for watching my video.